Hi guys, in today's review we'll be on a manufacturer that I have not looked at on the channel, and that being Clark Railworks by Alice Clark Trains. And I believe this is their third 00 gauge rolling stock, and this rolling stock here is in the Bass Worthington livery of Burton-on-Trent. It is a demountable tank wagon. The product code for this is C3020. It came out September 2025. The running number for this is B749030, and in this livery here it covers 3 eras, which are BR early, BR late and BR pre-tops if I'm correct, which is era 4, 5 and 6. When I saw these announced earlier in 2025 and I saw the liveries, I saw the Bass, I thought, yeah, this is a must for me. I do collect Bass rolling stock. So yeah, this is my first time looking at a Clark Railworks item. So let's get into the review and see what it's all about, shall we? And if they are any good. So with the model, you do get a bag of details to add yourself, and you also get a user's information and history booklet, and it is a coloured booklet as well. Let's start with the detail bag. The detail bag is resealable. Some of the stuff that's in it, I don't quite know what they are. You get your, I think they're 3 links for you to actually hook on the buff beam. You also get some more chains, I believe, to hold down the tanker if you snap or lose some. And I think there's some other pipe work and brake stuff to go in there as well. Again, none of this is painted all in black, which matches the wagon. The user manual does have Clark Railworks branding on it. Obviously it's their model. It has their address on the first page, and then it tells you a bit of history. And then you have these chapters like how to remove the mounted NEM pockets, how to re-add them. Also had some of your detail parts, cosmetic coupling, stuff like that. Also how to switch the wheels to EMP4, if I got that correct. And also how to take the tanker off if you wanted to do that. I am not going to do that because it looks very complicated. I am very heavy-handed, so that's not for me, but at least it's in the manual. And all these are coloured photos as well. And it tells you if you've got any issues where to go. Now as we move on to the actual model itself, let's start in the usual place, which is the front or the back of this tanker. And I've gone for this side because it's got the most detail. So yes, this does have metal sprung buffers. Again, if you're using the NEM pockets, they are a little pointless, but at least they're metal and they're sprung. I do understand why they've got these on this model. If you can change the coupling to 3 links, it makes perfect sense. Like I said, we do have an NEM pocket down below. We also have some guard irons as well to knock off straps, as far as I'm aware. If you want to remove the NEM pocket and the coupler itself, you can. It's all in the manual. The buffer beam and buffer housing is in black. There is a white lamp iron. As you look at it now, it's on your left side, then it's on the right side from here on the other side as well. We have a steam pipe or vac pipe there too. We have the hook, which I think is a metal piece, and that's in black with a few rivets around it as well. There's also some rivets on the board itself. Again, it's nicely done. Nothing's been picked out. Like I said, it's mostly in black. So there is a grating walkway as we move on up. I will show that in a better view later on. The other side of the tank from this view is nothing on there. It's just blue. There's no valves or livery applicated, just in the blue. There's no writing or nothing like that. But I thought I'd show it anyway. So yes, the tanker is separately applied, and if you want to change it, you can. It's all in the book. I think the chains that are holding on, I think they are plastic. We do have it in the blue, and this one's in the Bass and the Worthington livery of Burton-on-Trent. We have a picked out handle to release the beer or whatever's in there. Again, that's nicely painted. It looks a bit like a submarine door from this angle. And then we have the, I think it's tampo printed Bass and Worthington sign on the side of the tanker. Just be careful with the change. You do get a spare in the bag, but just be careful. So now as we move on to the side of the tanker, there is one slightly difference of the tanker, which is mainly to do with piping and equipment. So around this side we have a separate box on top of the tanker, I believe, with some black piping going down to a dial. That's the only difference that I can see with the tanker myself. Again, like I said, they do look to be separately applied. We also have it in the blue, navy blue livery of Bass and Worthington. Again, they seem to be crisply applied either side of the piping. We have the chains that are plastic, but you got replacement ones in the bag if you want to do that, and you have the bracing to hold the tanker in place, stop it rolling around. Below that bracing we do have B30 Again, that is crisply applied like the other tamper printed stuff on the tanker. It could just be my eyes playing tricks on me, but my tanker doesn't seem to be sitting flush on the chassis as it was. Before we get on to the sail bar itself, I just want to mention that we do have some grating for the walkway for the crew that work at the breweries or wherever the tankers are, but it does look to be complex, if that makes sense from my eyesight. We have that on both sides as well, and you can just see the white lamp irons. The sail bar itself does have some detail on there. We also have some rivets. So we do have a builder's plate, which I think is legible really close up, and it's saying it's 12 tons. And it's basically the number of the wagon that's on the sail bar. We also have another sticker, which is a yellow colour. A few rivets, then we got B749030, and then we have 2 stars. And it also says shunt with care, and then we have some more rivets as well. We have a white brake handle. We also have that separately applied with the brake shoes, which do line up with the wheels. The wheels themselves are discs, and I believe the insert is black. We have some springs and axles again. Being a new model, it's all crisp and it all lines up perfectly well. And you can see some equipment to go with the springs as well by the side. And there's some brake rigging underneath. And the wheels are metal as well. And finally, we come to the underneath look at this tanker. And if I'm honest with you, there's quite a lot of detail under it. Some of it you're not really going to see, but the chassis is see-through around the tanker, so you can see some of the details that are there, which is great. So, like I said, you can remove the NEM pockets. You can also remove the NEM couplers as well. You can also change the wheel sets. If you're into different gauges, you can do that. The wheels themselves are pointed axles, and I think we've got bearings in there as well, which is great. We have the brake rigging all applied. It's very fine, very much to the scale. It's very delicate. I don't want to touch it. We have a cylinder as well on one side. Again, I'm guessing that's to do with some sort of pressure or brakes. We have some support beams and rivets. Most of this is in black, so I am sorry about that. And then you can see the axle boxes and brake shoes all line up with the wheels, and then we have the NEM pockets at the other end as well. There's quite a lot of detail for £40. Yeah, it's a nice looking thing. So next up is something a little bit different in my rolling stock reviews. So I'll couple it up, if it will couple up to the stock that it has, which is a Grafar bass van. And then we have an Oxford Rail, I think it's a 7 plank bass wagon again. Going to couple them up, and then you will see the points test that is new to my rolling stock reviews. So here it goes. No issues there by the looks of it. So now the footage of the point test should come up. So point test now, we're just concentrating on the tanker. If anything else comes loose, that's not the tanker's fault. So let's see if we can do the points test backwards and forwards. So far so good. Let's get the whole train through. And backwards. Okay, no issues, definitely fine. So yeah, it managed the points test pretty well. Nothing came off, it didn't derail, it didn't affect any other couplings. These are slight odd coupling because the Grafar or Graham Farage is more of a square than any other shape. So it managed that perfectly fine. I hope you enjoyed the running session, and I'll see you at the end. So yeah guys, that's the end of the running session and the review on this Clark Railworks or Alice Clark Demountable tanker in 00. Before I give my price and opinion, I'll tell you what was pulling the train and what was in the train. So pulling the train, I went for something a bit different. I looked at a few photos of Burton and the usual suspects were 9Fs, 8Fs, Black 5s. So I thought I'd run my Stania Mogul by Bachmann. It is in the wheelhouse of the era of the tanker. It's an early one, so BR early. It did the job. It ran a little bit funny, but it did the job. And in the train I had a few of my Bass and Orsop from Burton wagons. I also had a Hornby Stania 20-ton brake van at the end and a few Dad's Army stuff in there just for a bit of fun. So the price from Alice Clark's trains or any of the model shops that stock this model, you're talking £40. Again, it's not a bad price. There's lots of fitted details. You can change the gauge. It does have a metal chassis, die-cast metal chassis. I think in the review I said it was plastic. I do have issues with touch, so I do apologise about that. It is die-cast. The tank could also be die-cast as well. I have one gripe with the tanker, if I'm honest with you, and that is the chains that hold it on. They're made out of plastic and they're very hard to get off if you want to demount it or change it for a different tanker, because Alice Clark or Clark Railworks do sell the tankers and other stuff to go on top separately, and I think they also sell the chassis separately as well. But that's my only gripe with it, is basically the taking it off is a ball ache in my opinion. So yeah, this tanker does cover a wide range of eras and stuff. So you've got your Preserve one, you've got your Propeller one. From 4, I think it's 4 to 11 eras, 4 to 11. So there's no excuse for anyone to not have one, unless you don't like the price. That's the only issue. Some people might have is the price, £40 for a small tanker. Let's be fair, some brake vans now are touching £50, £60 with no lighting, just the basics on it. And you have to remember that Alice Clark trains are a small family-run manufacturer, I believe. They are a shop, but they also produce stuff. I think this is their third item. So we had Lomac and then we had the Quad Arc coaches. And coming up later, from what I made out, is the Pug, Lancashire and Yorkshire Class 21 Pug. They're doing that in O gauge and 00. But as for the tanker, for me, a Bass one, it was a must. Bass and Withington, it was a must. I do like to collect my brewery items in 00 gauge. So for me, I like it. It's a thumbs up, but people might moan about the price. And I can't see them being in a sale, but you never know. So that was my take on Clark Railworks or Alice Clark's demountable tanker in the Bass livery. Please take care and goodbye.